So I'm here with Kimberly Pettigrew. She is the first among many who signed up as a franchisee for At Home Eldercare. And I wanted to get to know her and find out what her experience has been like, learning how she got involved with At Home Eldercare and just what the process has been like. So Kimberly, thanks.
Thank you.
So talk to me. How did you first find out about At Home Eldercare and the opportunity that it offered with the franchise?
Well, I initially started looking at different franchises to possibly invest in because I was working with a company that was very customer based.
Sure.
And so if you lost a client, you were potentially losing the job.
Right.
And I got rather concerned about the potential of losing my job. And so I just wanted to figure out some alternative options that I could possibly have. And
Was this in healthcare, or was this a different
actually, it was in pharmacy management.
field? Okay, so kind of on the sidelines of healthcare.
Yes.
Okay, all right.
And I started looking at home care agencies because my initial goal when I went to college and went to school was to work in managed healthcare.
Okay.
And so I thought that home care might be a great opportunity for me. And I didn't want to go through a lot of the pains of trying to do it myself and having to figure out all of the hoops and policies.
The
and
licensing, the training, the insurance, all of that fun business stuff.
Exactly.
Right.
So At Home Eldercare, along with several others, had come across when I was doing my research. And Gavin was actually one of the first ones that I reached out to.
Sure.
And after speaking with him, I honestly liked what he had to say. I liked his approach to how to manage doing the franchise, and from there it was kind of history.
Now, so just to be clear, have you worked in home health care at all before
Actually,
here?
no.
No? Okay. So when you walked into this, there was some apprehension, some trepidation about, what is home health care all about?
Oh, yes. I have a master's in health administration, so
Okay.
I've always done managed health care.
Sure.
But I've done it from the aspect of claims and billing and
The business side.
the business side of things. So
Right.
never actually being a CNA or working in the field or working with clients and things like that. So this was a leap of faith and a stepping out.
Sure, but Gavin,
Mm-hmm.
and of course we're talking about our CEO, Gavin Densmore, he took you, it's a whole process and an onboarding and make sure that you're right for the business as well, too.
Correct. So we did have a lot of conversations back and forth about, what I wanted to gain out of being a home care provider owner and what we wanted to see as far as growth and helping our clients and being there. And so we did have a lot of conversation back and forth about making sure this would be a good fit for me and that I would have the kind of basically the muster to kind of see it through and not have a bad day and say, I don't want to do this anymore.
Right. So, and there's an entire training process that and it's on our website, folks, if you have questions at homec.com. And so once you decided to sort of sign up with At Home Eldercare,
Mm-hmm.
You went through the first week of training. Now, when you signed up, we weren't dealing with the pandemic at that time, right? So it was an in-person training.
Correct.
Okay.
Once we got through all the training or all the licensing and getting all the paperwork completed, doing all of that type of work, I went to Raleigh for a week.
Sure.
To sit with Gavin and his team, his HR representative, as well as his nursing manager, to kind of go through our basically handbook of how the home care agency should be run and what the franchise aspect of it looked like, the do's and don'ts, and what we should be looking for, kind of thing. So
sure. And would you use the term turnkey, which was this ready to go, and once there was a process in place and it was easy for you to follow along and get up and running?
Well, I'll say yes and no.
Okay.
I'll say yes, it was turnkey because everything was pretty much laid out.
Sure.
But one of the great things that I like about Gavin is he's very open to communication.
Sure.
And he's open to changes that make sense.
Right.
So especially with the franchises being in different locations in different areas. What worked in Raleigh doesn't necessarily work in Winston-Salem or Chicago or Michigan. So
Sure.
he's very open to saying, okay, well, as long as it's with the guidelines of the franchise, there are some little tweaks that would need to be changed to accommodate where you are,
Right.
and how we are able to get the business going.
Well,
So,
that's encouraging, and I find that's true about Gavin, and he's definitely willing to listen to suggestion, in that it isn't sort of hard and fast. Oh, here's what I found, and you come to him and present a case, and as you said, as long as it fits within sort of the legal niceties of all of that, he's willing to listen.
yes.
Yeah. So, how do you like being in the home care business so far?
Overall, I love it.
Yeah.
It does have its challenges.
Sure.
It's the kind of adage that they say, dealing with people is always, when your business is relying on people.
Right.
There are always challenges to go along with it. So, there are good days and bad days, but overall, I like the opportunity of being able to go out and work with people. I love meeting new people. I love the challenge of trying to gain that business. So, I mean, it's
Sure.
interesting.
Well, and there's an additional element now. Of course, we're dealing with the coronavirus pandemic, and people are less and less in love with the idea of placing their elder loved one in a facility right now, because unfortunately, that's where a lot of the spread happened. And so you're providing a service for folks to give them a safer alternative now, right?
Yes.
So this is above and beyond just sort of we're taking care of our loved ones. We're providing sort of a public service here. Yeah. And so talk to me about where do you see Kimberly Pettigrew and At Home Eldercare of Winston-Salem in, say, 3-5 years? Where are we growing from here?
Well, in 3 to 5 years, my long-term goal would be to open additional facility or office.
Sure.
Because right now the spread is about a 90-minute distance from where your home base is, being realistic.
That's also North Carolina law.
Correct.
You have to stay within a 90-minute driving radius.
Territory.
Yes.
And so, but being realistic about that, finding aides in Winston-Salem that want to drive 90 minutes is not realistic.
Sure.
The easier way to manage that is to have additional offices that are a little bit further out, so
Right.
you can have that larger territory. So I would love to see us growing and having additional territory. I would love to see us growing and adding additional services such as skilled nursing
Sure.
or infusion nursing, things of that nature, possibly even transportation. So, I mean, the possibilities are endless because the services and the need in home care are vast. So,
Absolutely.
that's what I would like to say.
Well, Kimberly, thank you, and I appreciate your insights, and I wish you much success. And folks, if you're interested in exploring the opportunity of an at-home elder care franchise, then the contact information on how to get a hold of us will be at the end of the video. And of course, you can find us on social media and out there on the internet at athomec.com. Scott Duncan here, and thanks for joining us today.